Hello everyone! So I saw they released this on Twitter, and for a moment I thought it was just a new, like a rehash of stuff we'd already seen, but thrown together in a trailer, and I realized, no, this is essentially a new trailer, just focused on Kislev, and so I stopped it like 2 seconds in, and decided that this would probably be good for a video. So here we go. We're going to watch this through. I have no idea what this is. I saw a few seconds and I was like, whoa, this is different. So let's get into it.
We are the bulwark of the North.
God, that bear.
Behold, the unyielding motherland.
They have pistols.
Through the teachings of the great orthodoxy, this world's end is kept at the bay.
Dude.
Our mothers and fathers.
Who is that guy?
Brothers and sisters. Stand united against the onslaught of chaos.
Kitty cat. Oh my god.
With the strength of Urson, the mighty bear,
Oh.
and the power of winter itself.
Oh my.
Tear them down!
Oh my god, that animation. Oh, get him. Oh my god, dude.
Join us!
Those are ice wagons.
Defend the legacy of Kislev!
Oh my good lord. Oh, that's so great. That is so great. Dude, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. That's just, okay, so legit, I had no idea this was coming out, or that this was even a thing. So this really actually shows some new units, which is just fantastic. And oh my gosh, dude, the new animations look great. The kill animations, wow. Oh wow, that's exciting. This actually shows off a lot of really cool new stuff. Oh gosh, where to even start with? Okay, so I'm gonna real quick look for any new stuff. Okay, so this is a new unit. These look like, man, it seems like there's a lot of different kinds of Tsar Guard, because we still haven't seen, so in the, I think it's in the Trial by Fire trailer, we see what look like either Kossars or Tsar Guard that have really big two-handed swords. But here we've got Tsar Guard with these beautiful two-handed maces. Look at those things. You see a different style of one right there, but like you have these huge two-handed maces that look like they're just gonna crush people. So we do have a great weapon variant.
Behold.
I really like the way the settlements look. I'm assuming this is, I wonder when we're going to get an actual look at the new minor settlements kind of maps, but I'm assuming this may be one of them, or maybe it in the background or something. But Kislev looks beautiful, man. I'm really, really excited to get some more snow maps, because I really like a lot of the Norskin maps, and I really like a lot of the Nagaroth maps, but I really do think Kislev is going to bring an even better new aesthetic to snow maps, and hopefully really improve the lighting of snow maps to like just perfection, and maybe hopefully they'll have some time to go back and readdress the Norskin and Nagaroth maps and make them like really, really pretty to go with the Kislev maps, because this looks very dark and moody and sinister. Really, really like it.
The unyielding motherland.
And that, so this guy, I'm wondering if this is just an animation for fun, because this is clearly a Tsar Guard with a axe and shield, but he also has a pistol. If there's one thing I actually think is really, really lacking in Total War Warhammer in general, it's that a lot of the black powder races have pistols, but just almost never use them. In that, you know, dwarfs have a lot of pistols. The Empire uses pistols on the Pistoliers, but it would be nice to see, like, maybe us get an Empire Engineer at some point who had pistols, but I would really like to see more single-handed, shorter-range guns in Total War Warhammer for the black powder wielding races. His pistols are just cool.
Through the teachings of the great Orthodox.
So we've got some looks like Ungol archers here. We've got the Streltsy.
This world's end.
The Great Orthodoxy. I have to try so hard to remember that, because whenever my brain thinks O words, it goes oligarchy, which is not the same thing.
Is kept at the bay.
See, and this is really what I wanted in the last trailer to an extent, and I'm really glad we're getting it with this trailer, which is that one of my only issues with the last trailer was that it felt like it was kind of supposed to be a Kislev trailer, but it was from the perspective of this just guy, and Katerin doesn't get to talk. And I really wanted to have more of the classic Total War Warhammer 2 trailers, where you get the legendary lord figure, usually like the racial leader, being the one giving a speech.
Our mothers and fathers.
Also, is that Rasputin? Because it kind of looks like Rasputin. But dude, we got a battle standard bearer. Like, this guy is legit just a you know what this guy is? This is a priest of Daz.
Our mothers and
Like, he's literally got a big fire weapon and looks like he's carrying around religious script. This is almost assuredly a priest of Daz. The god of fire and the god of the sun. So I'm guessing that's what he is. But I really hope we get more of this in game. We need more banners. Like, what's a good old-fashioned fantasy war without banners? Come on. He looks great though. Pretty gross, but in a sense, just because dude needs a haircut. Dude desperately needs a haircut.
brothers and sisters. Stand.
I still don't know what this cat is. It's definitely a cat. It's not a dog or a wolf. That is 100% like a snow panther or a snow leopard. I have no idea what that thing is.
Stand united against the onslaught of chaos.
Man, dude, do you know how strong something has to be to toss a warrior of corn in full plate, like 10 plus feet in the air?
Onslaught of chaos.
Like, good lord.
With the strength of earth and
And this is a generic ice witch. That's not Katerin. That is this is just a regular ice witch, but the kill animation she has against that bloodletter,
the mighty bear
very good.
god and the power of winter itself.
Oh man, dude, the kill and this, dude, right here, this part, so good. I've seen a lot of people who have not been fans of that. The Streltsy had their, because the classic design for the Streltsy is they had these big, I think they're called Bardiks, or but they're like these big halberd things that, or they're like halberd glaives, but they were created by the Kislevites seeing halberds and gunpowder for the first time being used by the Empire, and they thought, oh, that looks good. So what they were were these big halberd thingamajiggers that they would had their design allowed them to be like slammed into the ground and used as a you would use it to stabilize your handgun. So you'd kind of slam them into the ground, slot your handgun in it, and fire, and it would allow you to aim really accurately, which is a cool design. But I can also see probably where Games Workshop wanted to make it a little bit more fantastical. And for the animators, I think this is actually a lot easier, because you don't have to deal with the animations of like having this unit have a big combat weapon that then has to be like, you would literally have to do like a whole thing of getting it all prepared to have a unique fire animation. And honestly, I just think this is way cooler. I know for some people, their suspension of disbelief gets hurt a little bit, but if you're having suspension of disbelief problems because of a gun-axe hybrid in Warhammer Fantasy, bro, you are like, yeah, just no. Because that is Come on! That's so badass. Where you're able to just, like, come in and shank a guy and then immediately shoot someone else in the face. Those look great. Those look great. Oh, the bear. Oh, this music. Oh, I love these things. I love these things. Like, way to, you know, I need to make a whole in-depth video talking about these. Because this is the other thing a lot of people were complaining about. And, to be clear, when I use the word complaining, I'm not trying to, like, take a dump on these people. I love complaining. I think it's something everyone should engage in. It's a good way to get things out, and just, like, complaining is not inherently bad. It's just you expressing your dislike of something. And I know there's a lot of people, many of whom I think are also in the Streltsy don't like the weapon change, who also don't like the war wagon change, where the Kislevites are utilizing their ice magic to literally create sleds being pulled by these bears instead of wheels. So they use ice sleds instead of typical wagons. But the thing is, for me, is that I really think that the big purpose to this, and why I think it's ultimately a really, really good thing, is there needs to be a big divide between the Empire and Kislev. I think a lot of the people who are not happy with these changes because they think it's too fantastical, or it's a little bit too far on their suspension of disbelief, while I understand where they're coming from, I don't agree with it. Because I think the issue is a lot of the people who loved the really, really, I shouldn't say lazy, basic design of old Kislev, which is like, the last time Kislev was playable in Warhammer Fantasy was 6th edition. And they were primarily used as, like, an accent to the Dogs of War. Actually, like, you could use Kislev models in 6th edition, but I think they may have been more of a thing in 5th edition. But in any event, a lot of people like those really old designs. But for me, a lot of the issue with those designs is that they were just too basic. They were just the Empire with Russian accents. That's quite honestly all they were. They had a very tiny amount of unique units, but a lot of Kislev's uniqueness would not be explored until now. And I do not agree with the idea that this is a bad thing, or that this, like, isn't Kislev, or it's too far. I think this is exactly how far Kislev would go. They are a practical people who I think would utilize everything in their ability to try and get the upper hand against Chaos, which would probably mean utilizing a lot of prominent powers like ice magic. And are there a lot of bears? Yes, there are a lot of bears. But in defense of Kislev, the Cult of Urson was basically functionally dead for such a long time, until Radiboka, or Boris Boka, the Tsar, Katarin's dad, you know, he was the first High Priest of Urson in like 400 years or something like that. And with him came back this huge surge in the Kislevites' ancestral deity, or at least with the Gospodars, even though the Ungals do have a lot of respect for Urson. And bears became like this massive thing. So it would make sense to me that with Urson jumping back into the limelight so hard, that decades later the Kislevites would have been able to not only earn the favor of the bear god, and thus have all of his children be able to be joining the Kislevites in war, so you would just see bears all over the place. They would cease being this super rare thing, and it's something that really equalizes a lot of the... I mean, if you're going to be fighting the legions and hordes of chaos, and there are demons pouring out everywhere, you're going to need something heavy, something big, that's going to help you deal with just all of that insanity. And you know what's a great equalizer besides guns? Bears. Just lots of bears and ice magic. I personally love this. I think this is really taking Kislev in a direction they need to go. to not just be the Russian Empire, which would have been horrible, in my opinion. Obviously, you can disagree with that, and that's totally fair, but I'm gonna argue against your disagreements, just like, no doubt, some people will argue against mine. But I personally think these units are fantastic. I think this is so much more exciting than a regular war wagon, you know, where the Empire has armored horses pulling armored wagons with Empire gunsmen going pew-pew from, you know, their wheeled wagons. Kislev instead has these beautiful they're literally sleds, but you have these beautiful ice sleds that look significantly less armored because they just don't have a lot of steel and stuff. It looks like they're relying mostly on hide and wood to protect them. But they're also being pulled by bears, which means they're probably much nastier in close combat.
Join us! Pledge yourself to the ice!
And I love that they add tusks onto the bears. Like, they're literally strapping, like, these big bones that allow the bears to, like, impale people on the charge. Because why have regular bears when you can augment your bears with armor and attach bones to them to make them even scarier than they would be normally?
Defend the legacy of Kislev!
Great. Absolutely great. I love this trailer. This is actually kind of what I wanted in the Trial by Fire trailer. Trial by Fire was great, don't get me wrong. But I really felt that Trial by Fire was much more of a Khornate trailer than it was a Kislevite trailer. Even though I felt it was pretty balanced. It seems that this month is going to be focused on Kislev, so you know, hopefully we'll have even more exciting stuff coming soon. But I'm beyond thrilled. I'm super thrilled. So I would love to know what you guys think down in the description below. I can't wait to learn about all these things. It looks like Kislev's going to have an absolutely massive roster full of all sorts of just crazy badass things. And man, I really like the music. There's a lot of use of vocals, which is really, really good. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. that mace, dude. Oh, man. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Just great.